Picture this: a life of unimaginable wealth, living in luxury, until it all comes crashing down. What if I told you that some of the most infamous criminals made catastrophic financial mistakes that not only cost them their freedom, but also destroyed everything they built? Stay tuned, because in this video, we're diving into 5 shocking financial mistakes made by famous criminals, and the valuable lessons you can learn to avoid their fate. They say money makes the world go round, but when mishandled, it can make your world come crashing down. In this video, we'll explore how criminals like Al Capone and Bernie Madoff fell from grace, and the financial strategies you can use to avoid their fate. Spoiler alert: their mistakes aren't as far removed from everyday life as you might think. Let's dive in. Before we start, if you're ready to uncover the hidden truths behind these stories, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. First up, Al Capone, the infamous mob boss who ruled the Chicago underworld during the Prohibition era. Capone orchestrated countless crimes from bootlegging to bribery. But do you know what landed him behind bars? Taxes. Despite his millions, Capone thought he could evade the IRS by not reporting his income. Big mistake. In 1931, he was convicted of tax evasion and sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. Here's the lesson: ignoring taxes is a losing game. Author Robert Kiyosaki explains in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the avoidance of taxes is one of the simplest ways to reduce risk and ensure wealth. Taxes aren't optional. Even billionaires who try to game the system like Capone eventually get caught. For everyday people, filing taxes accurately and on time isn't just a legal responsibility, it's a financial safeguard. As Benjamin Franklin once said, "In this world, nothing is certain except death and taxes." Practical takeaway: start small. Organize your financial records monthly. Use tax software or consult an expert. Ignorance isn't bliss when it comes to taxes. It's a liability. And speaking of liabilities, wait until you hear how excessive spending became one man's undoing. Jordan Belford, known as the Wolf of Wall Street, didn't just manipulate stocks. He manipulated his lifestyle. Belford's excessive spending on yachts, mansions, and high-end parties wasn't just a symbol of his success. It was a red flag. His lavish habits drew attention to his fraudulent schemes, eventually leading to his arrest and imprisonment. Lesson: Belford's story highlights the dangers of overconsumption. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman writes in Thinking Fast and Slow, "The pursuit of wealth is endless because the human mind always seeks the next reward." This phenomenon, called the hedonic treadmill, keeps us chasing more even when we have enough. Belford fell victim to this cycle, and it cost him everything. To avoid overspending, focus on creating financial stability rather than flaunting wealth. A simple budget using the 50-30-20 rule, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings, can keep your spending in check. Still to come, the story of a cybercriminal whose digital footprint exposed his empire. Stay tuned. Ross Ulbricht, creator of the Silk Road, thought he was untouchable. His online black market raked in millions in Bitcoin, but he made one critical error: leaving a digital trail. Authorities traced Ulbricht's identity through metadata, careless forum posts, and even a stray email signature. He's now serving a double life sentence. Lesson: in an age dominated by technology, your digital footprint is more revealing than you think. Edward Snowden famously said, "Arguing that you don't care about the right to privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different than saying you don't care about free speech because you have nothing to say." Ulbricht's case proves that privacy isn't just about security, it's about survival. Use encrypted communication tools, strong passwords, and VPNs to protect your online presence. And never underestimate the value of discretion, both online and offline. Coming up, a political scandal that unraveled due to financial mismanagement. You won't want to miss this one. Richard Nixon's presidency ended in scandal not just because of illegal activities, but due to the misuse of campaign funds and a lack of transparency. The Watergate scandal wasn't just about politics. It was a financial cover-up that destroyed public trust. Nixon resigned in 1974 to avoid impeachment. Lesson: transparency isn't just a virtue, it's a necessity. In The Speed of Trust, Stephen Covey writes, "Trust is the one thing that changes everything." Nixon's downfall reminds us that hiding the truth, whether in business, politics, or personal finances, erodes trust and credibility. Build financial transparency by documenting income, maintaining clear communication, and being honest about errors. Trust is your most valuable currency. We're almost at the most shocking case yet. Stick around to learn how greed and deception destroyed a financial empire. Bernie Madoff orchestrated the largest Ponzi scheme in history, promising consistent high returns to investors. For decades, he appeared to deliver, but it was all a lie. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, his scheme unraveled, revealing losses of $65 billion. Madoff's greed blinded him to the inevitable collapse. Lesson: Madoff's story illustrates the dangers of overpromising and greed. In The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel states, "The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving." Madoff couldn't stop moving his, and it destroyed him. For us, this means setting realistic goals and knowing when to step back. Avoid high-risk investments that seem too good to be true. Diversify your portfolio, research thoroughly, and prioritize long-term growth over short-term gains. What do you think about Madoff's story? Share your thoughts in the comments. So what can we learn? Al Capone showed us the dangers of ignoring taxes. Jordan Belford highlighted the pitfalls of overspending. Ross Ulbricht exposed the risks of leaving a digital trail. Richard Nixon demonstrated the cost of secrecy, and Bernie Madoff revealed how greed leads to ruin. Each story teaches us that financial responsibility isn't just about money. It's about trust, discipline, and foresight. Which story resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history's most intriguing lessons. Check out this video next to uncover more surprising truths about crime, psychology, and finance. Thanks for watching.